Deep inside an ancient cave, scientists discovered a secret that changed the story of humanity forever.
Hidden in the remote Altai Mountains of Siberia, there is a place that remains silent for thousands of years. A cave surrounded by cold landscapes and ancient rocks preserved traces of humans who lived in a world completely different from our own. For decades, researchers believed they understood the story of ancient humanity. They knew about modern humans and they knew about Neanderthals. But deep beneath the ground of Denisova cave, they discovered evidence of another human group that had disappeared from history. A people that left behind no cities, no written records, and almost no visible trace of their existence. Their story was hidden inside something incredibly small, a single fragment of bone.
Sometimes the greatest discoveries are hidden in the smallest and most forgotten places.
Denisova cave is located in the Altai Mountains, a remote region where nature has remained almost untouched for thousands of years. The cave itself is not a giant underground city or a massive monument created by an ancient civilization. It is something much simpler, a natural shelter that became a time capsule. Over thousands of years, different groups of humans entered this cave seeking protection from the harsh environment outside. They left behind small pieces of their lives, stone tools, animal bones, and traces of their existence. Layer after layer, the ground preserved these clues, like pages in an ancient book. When archaeologists began studying those layers, they realized this cave was hiding a story far more surprising than anyone expected. Because among the remains of known human relatives, they found something that did not belong to any group they recognized.
A tiny piece of bone revealed a mystery hidden for tens of thousands of years.
The discovery that changed everything began with something that looked almost insignificant. A small fragment of bone was recovered from the layers of Denisova cave. At first, researchers did not know exactly who it belonged to. Ancient bones are often damaged over time, and many discoveries can only reveal small pieces of the past. But this fragment carried something different. Inside it was preserved genetic information that allowed scientists to look beyond the shape of the bone itself. They were not only studying what this ancient person looked like, they were studying their history, their origins, and their connection to other humans who once lived on Earth. When the DNA results arrived, scientists found something unexpected. The genetic signature did not match modern humans. It did not match Neanderthals either. It belonged to a previously unknown group of ancient humans.
They were not a legend or a myth. They were real people who once walked the earth.
The discovery of Denisovans changed the way scientists viewed human history. For a long time, researchers believed that the ancient human world was simpler. Modern humans and Neanderthals were the main groups known to have lived during this period. But the DNA from Denisova cave revealed a different story. There was another population that had existed alongside them. The Denisovans were an ancient human group that lived across parts of Asia thousands of years ago. Unlike modern humans, they left behind no known cities, no written language, and no clear record of their daily lives. Almost everything we know about them comes from small pieces of evidence preserved by time. Scientists believe they were skilled survivors who adapted to challenging environments. They lived during a period when the earth was colder, landscapes were changing, and survival required knowledge of nature. They hunted, created tools, and interacted with other human groups that shared the same world. But their greatest connection to us was discovered through genetics. The Denisovans were not simply a lost branch of humanity. Their DNA is still present today in some modern populations, showing that these ancient humans did not completely disappear without leaving a trace. Edison.
The Denisovans did not live alone. Their story was connected to other ancient humans.
The discovery of Denisovan DNA revealed something even more surprising. Ancient humans were not isolated groups living completely separate from each other. They traveled, interacted, and sometimes crossed paths. Genetic evidence shows that Denisovans shared parts of their DNA with other human populations. This means that thousands of years ago, different human groups met and had children together. The ancient world was not a simple story of one species replacing another. It was a complex network of migrations, encounters, and connections. The Denisovans were part of this forgotten chapter of human history. They survived in harsh environments, adapted to changing conditions, and became connected to other populations through time. but eventually, their presence in the archaeological record became harder to find. The people who once lived inside Denisova cave slowly disappeared from history, and scientists are still trying to understand exactly why.
Thousands of years later, one question remains. What happened to the Denisovans?
The disappearance of the Denisovans remains one of the greatest mysteries in human history. Unlike some ancient civilizations, they did not leave behind monuments or written records explaining their final days. Their story faded slowly, leaving scientists with only fragments of evidence. There are several possible explanations for what happened. Some researchers believe environmental changes may have played a role. The Ice Age was a world of constant transformation. Temperatures changed, ecosystems shifted, and survival became increasingly difficult. Others suggest that interactions with other human groups may have influenced their decline. Ancient populations often mixed together, and over many generations, some groups became part of larger populations. The Denisovans may not have simply vanished overnight. Their identity may have slowly disappeared as their descendants became connected with other humans. But without more discoveries, the complete story remains hidden beneath the earth. And somewhere, more clues may still be waiting to be found.
The Denisovans disappeared from history, but they never completely disappeared from us.
The discovery of Denisova Cave changed one of the most important stories humanity tells about itself. It showed us that our past is far more complex than we once believed. Human history was not a straight line. It was a journey filled with different groups, different cultures, and different paths that crossed through time. The Denisovans remind us that Earth was once home to many kinds of humans. Some left behind great civilizations. Others left only small traces hidden beneath layers of stone. But even a tiny fragment of bone can reveal an entire lost world. Today, scientists continue searching for new evidence inside ancient caves around the planet. Every discovery has the potential to rewrite what we know about where we came from. And perhaps somewhere beneath the surface, another forgotten chapter of human history is still waiting to be uncovered.
A forgotten cave revealed a forgotten people. But how many more secrets are still hidden beneath the earth?
The discovery of Denisova Cave changed one of the most important stories humanity tells about itself. It showed us that our past is far more complex than we once believed. Human history was not a straight line. It was a journey filled with different groups, different cultures, and different paths that crossed through time. The Denisovans remind us that Earth was once home to many kinds of humans. Some left behind great civilizations. Others left only small traces hidden beneath layers of stone. But even a tiny fragment of bone can reveal an entire lost world. Today, scientists continue searching for new evidence inside ancient caves around the planet. Every discovery has the potential to rewrite what we know about where we came from. And perhaps somewhere beneath the surface, another forgotten chapter of human history is still waiting to be uncovered.